Now, there is no question about it that there is a lot of backlash going on right now based within New York City on the Zohran Mamdani mayoral election victory. There's a lot of things going on with a lot of celebrities, personalities, those in the media firing back at the general public over the backlash surrounding Zohran Mamdani. And we've all seen this happening with Robert De Niro and among other actors and actresses out there. However, when it comes down to The View hosts Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, and Whoopi Goldberg, this is where things truly actually got out of control for ABC and Disney. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about The View hosts, such as Sunny, Whoopi, and Joy, they are continuing, of course, to actually just use this as a way to push their anti-Trump narrative to the general public and really just playing the blame game to the millions of New Yorkers out there and to just regular American citizens, generally speaking, as well. And this is where it really truly backfired on ABC. Now, we know that ABC is going in a downward spiral when it comes to their ratings, when it comes to the metrics surrounding their overall ratings right now. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that, yes, we know that they are using this as a political talking point, right? Disney CEO Bob Iger uses The View as nothing more than a political spectrum, essentially, to use the hosts of The View as political talking heads. Now, what's interesting here, though, has a lot to do with what's going on between Joy, Whoopi, and Sunny after they got very angry toward those actually calling out Zohran Mamdani and really just showing their anger and frustration after his election victory. Again, people have a right to actually display their political opinions and their political views. However, between the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the most recent No Kings protest, and the New York mayor election that led to the Zohran Mamdani backlash going viral, many celebrities and personalities are now coming forward, attacking the public for displaying different political opinions, and already The View hosts Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, and Whoopi Goldberg are beginning to say some of the worst things possible, and yet, after Zohran Mamdani's victory, backlash went viral. Now, for starters, Sunny Hostin delivered the following. I am beginning to see a ton of racist remarks surrounding the victory for Zohran Mamdani, and it disgusts me. The people of New York disgust me right now. I mean, not all of them, but a pretty large percentage of New Yorkers are just acting like terrible human beings right now that are strictly focusing on Mamdani's socialist views, as they claim without even properly researching his policies. I am appalled to see how New Yorkers are acting out right now, and it doesn't surprise me at all that they so happen to be Trump supporters and those coming from the MAGA group that are driven by hate and judging others. You all disgust me to the core, and I think it's best for these people to leave the city already. Following Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar then chimed in by displaying her thoughts as follows. Look, I'm a woman, I'm a feminist, and I'm proud of it all, and I'm more than thankful to congratulate Zohran Mamdani on his victory. What I'm not thankful for are those supporting Trump using Mamdani's political views to attack the young man and pushing their own agenda that's creating nothing but hell in our great city. And only hear the loud noise coming from MAGA. It's always only MAGA every single time that just spouts their nonsense. It seems that they are very scared of a New York mayor coming from a place of diversity that holds new policies that we have never seen before for a mayor, and it frightens them. And so I'm not so surprised that the MAGA group and even President Trump himself are beginning to say such hateful things about Zohran Mamdani. It's disgraceful to just go calling him a socialist based on his political views and his policies. Now, guys, let me just say one thing about this. Now, the fact that Joy Behar is beginning to get so many things wrong here is that, yes, alright, we already know that there's a lot of people that are frustrated over Zohran Mamdani's election victory. There's a lot of people that do not want a mayor that holds socialist views, alright? And he even openly admitted that, yes, he is indeed a socialist. He is a Democrat socialist. Something that a lot of people, quite frankly, do not agree with. And people have valid points behind that. Now, we know that Joy Behar is basically trying to paint a story that Zohran Mamdani never admitted that he was a socialist. That's basically what she's trying to do, and that's also backfiring on her as well. Now, get this, Whoopi Goldberg then briefly said, following Joy Behar, We all need to come together, she says, and teach MAGA a lesson that they are no longer in control of pushing their hate-filled agenda that has ruined the state of New York. They are obviously afraid of somebody like Zohran Mamdani, who is so young and educated with his politics, to deliver something useful to New York City that will add relief to millions of people. And if you are against giving somebody like that a chance, then you are just lying to yourself on where you stand in politics. It's time that we all continue to call out MAGA and Trump for their racist-filled comments that are not helping anybody and is something that really needs to be addressed. And I congratulate Zohran Mamdani on his New York mayor election victory. It's something that obviously the MAGA gang is losing sleep over, and we are loving every bit of it right now because we are finally going back to a state of normalcy. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when you're looking at people like Whoopi, Joy, and Sunny, nobody wants to hear from, these women of The View saying anything political, right? People are very tired and exhausted over hearing them telling you how to live your life or telling you who you should vote for or how you should actually say things when it comes to your views on politics. And I think that they're really getting it wrong, alright? Anybody showing their frustration, anybody showing their issues with Zohran Mamdani, it has nothing to do with racism. In fact, a large portion of it is just, people have a problem with socialist views. That's all there is to it. On one end of the political spectrum, you have people that do not want socialist views. And that's basically what the majority of it comes down to. And obviously, Joy, Whoopi, and Sunny, they have a problem with the backlash. They have a very big problem with the backlash surrounding Mamdani going viral right now and how it's leading to a lot of small business owners in New York City to actually make a decision to leave the city. And that's really a thing that's going to happen as you get closer to 2026. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how the media is going to handle this going on forward, how the hosts of The View are basically going to act within the next couple of months until January 1st, once, of course, he comes into office. Now, we know one thing about all of this is that Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Whoopi Goldberg, they need to go. Alright, they are basically talking heads for the Walt Disney Company. This is exactly why I say that Bob Iger has no credibility, why Bob Iger is nothing more than just a liar. This is exactly why I, along with many others, like to call him Bob Liger. So much for toning down the noise, right? So much for toning down, political agendas via the Walt Disney Company. And here we are, yet again, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar calling people racists and sexists and all of that nonsense that people don't want to listen to anymore. And it's all because people just have a different political opinion. People are just calling out, socialist views and stuff like that and how they don't want that to be basically at the center of New York City. And that's basically, of course, what it all comes down to, right? That's the short story of it all. But overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about all this below in the comments. Anything ranging from The View to the whole Zohran Mamdani backlash going on right now. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.